Well, welcome to another edition of Te Akau TV. I'm joined today by Te Akau Racing Manager Reese Trumper. How are you going, Reese?
Good, Hazy. How are you?
Fantastic. Another good week of weather. It's starting to finally dry up across the country at the moment.
Yeah, it was really good to get back on good ground on the weekends. Last weekend, this weekend it might be a bit wet again, but that's the way it is.
Absolutely. And I guess just touching on the week that's been there, Riccarton on Saturday, I thought Rhetorical was quite impressive there, winning or stringing 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, look, she was really tough. The inside mare by Excentric South Sky on Fire, she was very professional and had every reason to win it. So Rhetorical was really good to get over the top, and she'll head to the Welcome Stakes, and Josh Power rider in that, and she looks like a very good chance in that race.
Great. And Perfect Scenario kind of flew under the radar, sneaking down there late last week and got the chocolates.
Yeah, it's a very good call by Mark to do that. Looked like a very nice race. They all said that the 1400 would act like a mile at Riccarton. So that was a good decision by Mark, and it was a good ride by Joe, and he was dominant, and all reports are that the 2 horses that won down there have come through their runs very well.
Absolutely. And Perfect Scenario will probably head there towards the Copeland's Bakery mile. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. And Josh Power ride him in that.
It's fantastic. And moving down to Te Rapa there, the results from Te Rapa there on the weekend, we had Caravella as well, performed quite well, stuck the head out and won on the line.
Yeah, look, it was a great ride by McNabb. He had a handful of horse coming around the corner, and it looked like nothing was going to beat her, and she's still doing a bit wrong laying in, so still a lot of improvement left in her, but she's going the right way.
And Wild Knight was really impressive there, coming from last on the turn to win the James and Annie Sarden Memorial. Run a pretty quick time there and won in 1:22.6. This is a horse with looks to have a pretty bright future race.
Yeah, look, it was a really good ride by Craig Grills. Drew awkward. He got back. He got him to relax and get into a good rhythm. And when he pulled him out, geez, it's actually quite scary to think how good this horse is. He's still doing a bit wrong as well. So the world's his oyster for sure.
Fantastic. So we'll see him again there, I think, on Waikato Gold Cup Day before possibly a run and on Boxing Day leading in towards the Crack a Million 3-year-old. So we'll be keeping an eye out for Wild Knight as after he goes for a wee spell there in the coming days. So moving across to Taranaki there at New Plymouth Raceway on Friday. We're going to kick off in race number 1, the Team Jackie Lorry and Wheels Maiden 2000. We've got Prismatic, drawn barrier 8 with Joe Cameron on board. This horse really probably deserves a win race.
Yeah, he does. Look, he just got into a lot of trouble last start at Hara. It was no one's fault. It's just he got stuck on the inside. Everything took off around him. The 2,000 metres will suit with the pedigree he's got. He's drawn a little awkward. The 2,000 metre start at New Plymouth's not really the idealist place, but look, Joe will sort him out, and if he's going to win one, it looks like that could be the race.
Great. And race 2 for the 2-year-olds there, the Comcat, set weight and penalties over 1,200. This really shapes as a race between Team Te Akau and Team Rogerson. We've got 3 runners. Team Rogerson has the 2. We kick off there with number 1, Troberand, drawn barrier 4 with Lisa Allpress on board.
Yeah, he's a beautiful son of Kermadec that they paid $260,000 for off Windsor Park. And look, his last trial at Te Awamutu, although he was unplaced, he was the widest and he kept coming. So 1,200 metres will suit him. You just never know with 2-year-olds, but look, he does everything right at home. So we're expecting a nice run from him.
And My Lips Are Sealed, drawn barrier 1 with Niranjan Palmer on board.
Yeah, yet again, another nice horse that Dave brought for $160,000 at the sales. And look, she'll be the first ace high to get to the races, I think. So that's quite good. 1,200 metres will obviously suit her. The further she'll go, the better she'll get. Yeah, she's a sneaky.
Absolutely. And I guess Ace High himself was a Victorian Derby winner in his time. It's interesting to see his crop getting up and running at 2 there as well. And then finally there, she turns heads, the Headwater filly, drawn barrier 5 with Joe Cameron on board.
Yeah, another nice filly that Dave brought, $170,000 he paid for her, and she always looked like a nice filly. When I went and saw her at the farm after the sales, she was the filly that I really was taken by. She's a big girl, so 1,200 meters will suit her. And yeah, I see her running a really nice race.
Fantastic. And race number 5, the Taranaki Steel Formers Maiden 1400. We've got If You're Ample, drawn barrier 8 with Lisa Allpress on board.
Yeah, she's been served by Novare, and it's really brought her on, actually. Sometimes the mares, once they get served, they really come on, and she really has. And the wet ground at New Plymouth won't worry her. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching her. Yep.
And Sternland, drawn barrier 16 with Joe Cameroon on board.
Yeah, and she's also been served by Darcy Brahma. She's come on a lot too since then. It's an awkward draw. The 1,400 at New Plymouth gives them a bit of time to get across. She'll be obviously 3 wide, but the wet ground won't worry her. I'm expecting her to be in the finish as well.
Great. And race 7, the Landmark Homes rating 75 benchmark 1,600. We've got La Flora Bell, drawn barrier 2 with Lisa Allpress on board.
Yeah, it's good to get a senior rider on her. She was really good at Matamata last start, just got swamped that last bit by everything. She only finished 1.5 lengths off the winner. I expect her to be right in the finish as well, yep.
Great. And she's a show-off, drawn barrier 3 with Niranjan Palmer on board.
Yeah, she obviously gets right down to that 51 kgs, so that'll be ideal for her. She loves the wet ground. The mile will be the question mark. But from all reports, her last run, Lisa Allpress was pretty happy with her that she'd get a mile. So if she gets the mile, she should run well.
Great. And let's head across to Saturday's racing with fielding at Awapuni. We kick off in race 4, the Property Brokers fielding 1,200, rating 75 benchmark. I thought Sophisticado was pretty impressive coming home late out wide there last start, drawn barrier 9 with Joe Cameron on board.
Yeah, he certainly was. 1,200 meters is obviously going to suit him. The further he goes, the better he'll get. I rate him. He's only drawn average gate, but he rates a top chance if he brings the same effort as last start.
Great. And Pisco Sour, drawn barrier 7 with Lisa Allpress on board.
Yeah, she looked like she was going to be right in at Avondale over 1,100. She just came to the end of it that last little bit. So she's come on a lot since then, and Lisa Allpress has won on her, so she knows her well. And yeah, I expect a really good performance from her.
Great. In race 7, it's the one listed race of all the Saturday racing across both cards. It's the Mode Technology Fielding Gold Cup Open Handicap over 2,100. We've got Aromatic, drawn barrier 13 with Joe Cameroon on board.
Yeah, it's a shame that she's drawn the outside barrier. Just can't seem to get any luck with this mare. 2,100 meters isn't an ideal starting position at Awapuni either. But Joe knows her really well, and if any mare deserves a stakes win, it's her, so you can't write her off.
Great. And that takes us across to Matamata there on Saturday as well. We kick off in race 2, the Remembering Toby Ortridge 1,050 metres. It's a maiden race. We've got Time Flies, drawn barrier 1 with Jason Laking on board.
Yeah, look, he's a horse with a lot of class and just can't win one yet. 1,000 metres will suit. Jason Laking's coming up from the south to ride him, which we're very happy about. He's drawn a great gate, and as long as he doesn't get to the lead too soon, I believe he'll be a top chance.
Bello Mio, drawn barrier 11, Vinnie Colgan.
He's a horse that Dave paid $140,000 for at the Ready to Runs 12 months ago. On his pedigree being by deep field, 1,000 metres should suit. His trials have been great. He's just drawn a bit average, but they'll get along over 1,000 metres, so you'll get one off somewhere, and I expect him to be right in the finish.
And Pokeroo Show, drawn barrier 13 with Ryan Elliott on board.
He's a hard-going son of Adamos. He's not the easiest to deal with around the barns, but 1,000 metres should suit. He should relax. He'll get midfield one off somewhere, hopefully from that awkward gate, and as long as he settles, he'll run home late.
Great. Dignitosa, drawn barrier 14 with Warren Kennedy on board.
Yeah, look, she was very disappointing at Taupo first up. We're giving her a bit of time to get over that. And back at Matamata, where she ran well as a 2-year-old, over 1,000 metres is ideal. I expect her to be right in the finish as long as she can overcome that wide barrier draw.
Great. And of course, Warren Kennedy's recently over from South Africa, and this will be his first ride for Akau, I believe, as well. And that wraps up the runners in that race. Next up, we're in race number 4, the Waikato Equine Veterinary Centre 1200. We've got Rock Anthem drawn barrier 5 with Jason Laking on board.
Yeah, he was very disappointing first up at Matamata, but we've given him a trial since then, and he's shown us improvement. I think he can bounce back from that good draw. Yeah, there's no reason why he can't be in the finish.
Our Millie B drawn barrier 10 with Warren Kennedy on board.
Yeah, back against her own age will help her. She's not the biggest filly in the world, and she doesn't mind the wet ground, and she went really well at Matamata on debut, so there's no reason why she can't get back to that form with the blinkers on.
And Shanghai Tang there for Waikato Stud's been trialling exceptionally well, and I know we had one of there with Skew Whiff a couple of weeks ago, last week. Drawn barrier 2 with Vinnie Colgan. Her chances seem pretty bright.
Yeah, look, she's a very exciting filly in her 2 trials. Te Awamutu have been excellent. I expect her to be a top winning chance.
And Safura drawn barrier 8 with Niranjan Palmer on board.
Yeah, she was very heavily punted at Tiara on debut, where she disappointed us a little. We're giving her a lot of time to get over that. The blinkers go on, and her trial at Te Awamutu was excellent. There's no reason why she couldn't be in it.
Great. And I just missed race 3 there, so we'll jump back to the CW Cole Racing 1,050 metres. It's a rating 65 benchmark. We've got Hero Worship drawn barrier 13 with Niranjan Palmer on board.
Yeah, he loves racing at Matamata. 1,050 is obviously not going to be ideal for the son of Extravagant, but it's drawn a bit awkward as well. But he'll be finding the line late, and it'll just get him ready for his next start.
Great. And race 5, the NZB Insurance Pearl Series race, rating 65 benchmark, over 1,200 metres. We've got one that kind of turned heads on her debut there last season in Albatross, the big striding mare of Sacred Falls, drawn barrier 4 with Jason Laking on board.
Yeah, she's very impressive, winning at Hastings by 3 lengths on debut. Given her a bit of time to get over her little problems that she's had since. Trials have only been okay, but I've only been on a real tight track, so I wouldn't get into them so much. They're more just for fitness. Back onto a roomy track at a home track, I think she'll be back on form.
And another horse that won there on debut last season, Sicilian Dream for Pinkaro, drawn barrier 8 with Vinnie Colgan on board.
Yeah, I really like this mare. Great that we have one for Sir Peter Vella in the stable, and she goes well. She's trialled well and raced well at Matamata before, so I'm expecting a really big run from her.
Great. And moving down to race 6, the New Zealand Bloodstock ready to run Trainer Series 1200. We've got Mohawk Brave drawn pretty wide out there in barrier 17 with Niranjan Palmer on board.
Yeah, the draw's going to make it tough, but the horse tends to get back in his races anyway, so that's no big deal. I think my thought is his 2 runs this time and have been good. He only beat one home last start, but he was only 3.5 lengths off the winner, and there's been a lot of form come out of that race, so I'm not so concerned about that. Palmer gets on with him really well, and I think he can be in the finish as long as he can overcome that wide draw.
Cool. And here's a horse I'm excited to see back at the races. Last season's 3-year-old Cracker Million winner, Pin Me Up, won her last trial there, drawn barrier 1 with Kelsey Hannon on board.
Yeah, look, she's a quality mare, and we're very excited to have her back at the races after winning the Cracker Mile last start. She's obviously had her problems, and we've given her plenty of time to get over those. The visor blinkers go on race day, so she'll know it's race day, and she'll try her hardest.
And Cote de Burn, drawn barrier 16 with Jason Laking on board.
Yeah, he went really well last start. I thought he got into an awkward position. He just got stuck behind a wall. No one's fault. Jason sticks with him, and I think he's a class animal, and he'll be running on late.
Great. And Fashion Shoot there, drawn barrier 11 with Vinnie Colgan on board.
Yeah, she's in career best form. She's going really well, and we're happy to have Vinnie join her. She's only drawn average gate, but I think Vinnie will be able to work that out, and the way she's going, I expect her to be right in the finish.
Great. And moving to race 7, the Fly High Taiki 1,300 metres. It's a maiden race. We've got It's business time for Windsor Park Stud. To me, loose mare, drawn barrier 11 with Jason Laking on board.
Yeah, 1,300 metres is going to suit this big scopy mare first up. She's only drawn average, but look, she's shown us enough at the trials to show that she'll be able to do enough on race day, so we're happy with her.
Great. And race 9, the Harry and Rick Lowe Memorial 1600. It's a rating 75 benchmark. We've got Shepherd's Delight, drawn barrier 11 with Vinnie Colgan on board.
Yeah, obviously she ran second in the 1,000 guineas 12 months ago, so that holds her in good form. She's getting there every run. She's improving this prep, so I expect her to be peaking up to a mile at Matamata on Saturday, and she'll be right in the finish.
Great. And race 10 there, the Prima Park and Daniel Miller Racing 1600. It's a maiden race. We've got Fake in it, drawn barrier 8 with Jason Laking aboard.
Yeah, 1,600 metres for her is going to be absolutely ideal. Wet track won't be a problem for her, and she went really well here last start, so I'd be expecting her to be in the finish over a mile.
Great. And She's Outrageous, drawn barrier 6 with Niranjan Palmer on board.
Yeah, 100% she'll go well again, and 1,600 is going to be good for her. Pedigree suggests that the further she'll go, the better she'll get. So her last run was very good, and I'm expecting another big run from her.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it, the weekend runners. Reece, do we have a best bet?
Yeah, Shanghai Tang at Matamata, I think, should be very hard to beat.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it, Shanghai Tang at Matamata. Next week, there's a lot of racing action heating up, especially over the ditch there in Melbourne, with the start of the Spring Carnival there on Saturday. And on Melbourne Cup Day, we have our own race meeting here at Akau. We will have a handful of runners. And also we look forward to 2,000 guineas at Riccarton next week as well, where we will see Cognito, Marlborough Bay, and Dynastic compete for Group 1 honours there as well. So we'll catch you again there next week, Reece, as we lead into Cup Week. And have a good week, and good luck to all runners and connections out there.
Thanks, Hazy.